Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. So this verse, the Sanskrit is, let's see what was before. So we talked about that how in the previous verses it started with that Urdhva Mula Vak Shaka, that hey, this whole cosmos is upside down tree, and the source is above, or Brahman. And then it was talking about that how Brahman is the one because of which everything is working in proper order. There is a law of nature going, and then previous one really dramatized it, that the fear of him, only fire burns, and fear of him, just a way of saying that it is because of Brahman everybody's doing their job. Nobody's going on vacation. And that's why we progress in and we can do our things on the earth, because the law of nature is in place. So that's what was previous verse.
Can you just I know I was trying to connect the second and the third shloka and to the fourth one now. The third one specifically picks up 3-4 things like fire and the sun, and 4 things it picks up, or 5, Vayu and death.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how does it? I mean, is there any significance?
It is because it is, the reason is significant. जैसे हम लोग कोई बात कर रहे हैं आपस में. Remember, this is also conversational style, है कि नहीं? This is a conversation. It's not. He's not going in every little detail. He's talking to Nachiketa here, right? Nachiketa को already उन्होंने काफी कुछ समझा दिया है. तो कभी-कभी हम लोग बोलते हैं ना वगैरह वगैरह. हाँ, सो वैसे ही देखो इसको कि मेन थिंग्स क्या होता है. जीने के लिए हमें क्या चाहिए? वायु चाहिए, हमें सन चाहिए, और इंद्रा रेन चाहिए, राइट? और डेथ इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट. तो उसने इंस्टेड ऑफ गिविंग नाउ 5 एलिमेंट, वो सब पहली बात कर ली है उन्होंने काफी कुछ. सो ही डजंट हैव टू रिपीट इट नाउ. It's like if you will see that the current verse, one whole line is missing in that verse. It's like you already know, I don't need to repeat it. That's why. That's why it's just they picked up few things. And in the same way, you will see that the current verse that we're going to be doing, that he doesn't even say, because he wants us to know that already.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was just wondering how he picked up.
Yeah, he just main things he picked it up. That's all.
Okay, because the death was the 5th one, and it did specify that's him. Okay. All right. Thank you.
So here it is, the verse. Iha chedashakad bodhum prak sharirasya vistrasaha tata sargeshu lokeshu sharirattvaya kalpate. Iha is here. Cheta is if. Ashakat is able to. Bodhum, to comprehend. Prak, before. Sharirasya, of the body. Vistrasaha, death or fall, means, leaving the body, basically. Tata, then. Basically, otherwise, क्या होगा? या तो पहले ही समझ जाए, Sargeshu lokeshu means in the world of creatable things. Means sansar mein वापस आएगा. Sharir tvaya, to take a body. Kalpate is made fit, or it will become possible. So it's kind of telling you the urgency. We were talking about different jivas, right? That there are billions of ants and God knows how many yonis and this and that. None of them are striving for this moksha. Right? Ant is only worried about, hey, where am I going to get my food and give it to the queen or something? They're doing their labor. Their purpose is different. And then even animal life, this is programmed. It's like 3-4 things that you do the entire life. And somebody was saying that if you see a little spider, it was making that same house millions years ago, same jala, And even now it's making it. It's not improved in his house. Yeah, I want air conditioning in there also. Humans are the only one who are so different, right? Anything. A dog is just going to bark. He's not going to talk. He's not going to write poetry. Okay? So that's how we have to see that why this life is so important. That so he's kind of waking us up. What Tejumanaji said, that this is one of the very important verses. Wake up. It's whatever Krishna Bhagavan was saying over there. Continue your practice. Here it is, emphasized in a different way. Okay, so what are they saying over here? So iha means here. Here means this life they're talking about. Okay, this whatever human birth that we have right now. They're saying that while living in this world, in this particular body, and Cheta is it's called Cheta Ashakat Bodhum. Meaning, iska matlab hai, if you are able to know, okay, and then Yamraji doesn't complete the sentence. And that's where I'm telling Meenaji over here that what Tejamayanji said, we have to complete that sentence. Because he said that itna hi bola, ki right here in this life, if you are not able to comprehend it before you die, then he will go in another life. He'll be, क्या बोलते हैं, जन्म मरण के चक्कर में वापस चला जाएगा. But he didn't say know what. He just said because he wants him to already know what he is talking about. Means to know that Brahman or the Urdhva, He talked about that Urdhva Paramatma, that Paramatma, which is higher self of yours. So that's what he's talking about in like unspoken words over here. So, and basically one who knows means before his body drops, he should know this. And Geeta also same thing, it says, when it comes to chapter 8, it's going to say that if somebody at the time of death can remember Bhagwan, usko moksha mil jayega. Then some people say, okay, then I should keep pictures of Bhagwan around me and this and that. And then, the truth is, whatever you have done your entire life, that's what is going to come at the end of, So wherever your mind has been entire life, it will be drawn automatically. Oh, Vasha, it's going to go over there in spite of yourself. That's why you need to practice. All of a sudden, just by thinking, I'm going to think of God at the last minute, it's not going to happen. Whatever your practice will happen. So that's exactly what he's talking about over here in a different words. So if someone realizes this truth, about Brahman, before he drops his body, he'll get liberated. That's what it is. And if he does not, and he left the body without knowing this, then he's again born in this sansar. And then Tejomanaji reminded that there was a verse, it said, Yatha karma tatha yatha shrutam. That's how you take birth, according to your action or your sanskaras and all that, and according to your knowledge. That's how you'll be taking the next birth. And so he said, Tejomanaji said, so what does it mean to us? Don't wait. Oh, kabhi ho jayega, because you don't know. He said that nobody knows when we are going to drop the body. And he said in Hindi, Shwas pe vishwas nahi. He said, so I thought he's very poetic in the way he says. So that when you take the breath in, you don't know next breath you're going to be able to take. Sometimes 1 second somebody, heart attack kuch aaya, boom, it's gone. So that's what he's talking about. So he's saying that we are in an illusion. Oh, abhi to bahut time baki hai. Like, people say, oh, when I finish this, then I'm going to start. When I get old, abhi to mere ko bahut kaam hai. Ye wo, that, unko remind karwa rahe hain, And then sometime he would, in other places, he will joke also. He say that, oh, मैं कथा में ना बाद में आऊंगी जब, जब काम वाम हो जाएगा, when you become old. You think old हो जाएगा, सुनाई भी नहीं देगा. कथा में करोगे क्या तुम वहाँ पे? So that's what it is. That we live in illusion that, So that's why he called it very powerful shloka that, that if we know this truth before and we get established in it, we'll get liberated. So I think all of us kind of know, but we are not established in it. So that's why the practice is necessary, you know. And then the other point he said was very important, and that comes back to our discussion earlier, that we don't know what body we are going to take. You know, I may be thinking that I'm doing so great and all that, but result is given by higher self. You know, I may be under delusion of what I'm doing. I don't know. I may be thinking I'm doing some great practices, but who knows? I'm just saying that, you know, nobody knows that what is going to be it. So we don't know what human body we are going to take. I mean, what next body we are going to take. That's what he's saying. So, but one very important point he said, and it ties up with what Krishna Bhagwan was saying, that we don't need to get so dejected. This is what we need to do. Okay? He's saying that if we are not able to realize the truth, we are not able to establish yet, at least we should do the effort in that direction. That's exactly what I was saying, that is tying up 100% with Bhagavad Gita right now, whatever we are studying. That we should do the effort to purify our mind and, you know, trying to gain that knowledge. And we have gone through a lot of other parts of it, including, you know, this Upanishad, Kathoupanishad, about the Shat Sampatti, you know, Vivek, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, and all that, you know. All that we have to continue. Those are called the Shat Sampatti, bola usko, great wealth. So he's saying, okay, you know, you accumulate money, power, and all that, but they're talking about wealth of purity of mind. So don't give up that. Continue with that. And then if you do that, at least you know that you're not going to go here and there in some other yonis. You are going to evolve, because Krishna Bhagavan promised it. That, hey, if you make that sincere effort, you will go higher lokas and all that. So that's what he was trying to say. I thought that was because he said that's a Shastra Vachan. You know, if we consider Lord Krishna's words, you know, we have Shraddha in it. He already said it, that, you know, continue and I'll make sure you are not destroyed. So that's what the main thing is. And the next mantra is going to be, you know, why the human life is so important. Because this is where we get the clarity about a lot of things, and that we will go with when it comes. But it's a pretty simple one, this one. Any question, comment, or anybody wants to add anything? Any volunteers to read? Yeah. Sheila ji.
But it's going to the mind so deeply, you know, this verse. I mean, you say simple, but it's going, sinking in the mind and knowledge. And it's the essence, you know, this verse.
Yeah.
It's very, as you say it, you know.
Yeah. It is like a wake-up call, like they say. That, hey, it's like tumko opportunity mili hai, like somebody was saying, you know, somebody's saying that, hey, you can get this unlimited amount of money or $1 trillion, and you go there and say, mujhe $5 de de. You know, means when you go after small things, he's saying you have the opportunity to get the highest. So work towards it. That's what he's saying. Don't waste it. That's what he's saying.
No, don't waste it.
Yes. And I think that I remember that Priya's statement also, that when she came from that course, she said that, what did you learn? She said, I learned that if you miss God in your life, you missed everything. You missed everything. No matter what you achieve, you didn't get anything in the end. So that's one. Wake up. Okay. You want to read it? Go ahead.
Yeah. I start?
Mm-hmm.
If here in this life one is able to comprehend him, Brahman, before the death of the body, he will be liberated from the bondage of the world. If one is not able to comprehend him, then one has to take a body again in this world of creation.
So I just want to say one thing. All the things that are put in parentheses, but were not spoken in this verse by the Yamraj, but we have to take it that otherwise it won't complete the whole thing. But as I said, that when we are talking to somebody, we take it for granted. The person already knows. I don't need to repeat so many times. That's why because it's almost coming to an end, no, now. उसको पहले ही बहुत कुछ उसको मतलब सिखा दिया है उन्होंने. So सब कुछ याद रखना पड़ेगा हम लोग को जो सीखा है पहले, या.
Ignorance can be ended only with the knowledge. Ignorance and knowledge cannot remain together at one place at the same period of time. Knowledge ends in ignorance as light ends in darkness.
So yes, Swamiji just telling you that या तो इधर या उधर. You know, if we have not gotten it, we are still ignorant. But उधर बोलते हैं कि किसी गुफा में मिलियंस ऑफ ईयर्स से कोई डार्कनेस हो पर उसमें लाइट आने में 1 सेकंड लगता है. जैसे ही उसमें लाइट आई डार्कनेस भाग गया वहां से. कितने भी सालों से होगा. सो वैसे ही हमारा भी इग्नोरेंस इज फ्रॉम कुड बी फ्रॉम सो मेनी लाइव्स बट इफ यू गेट द नॉलेज it can all go away in one instant. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
The ignorance of our identity has made us identify ourselves with the mind, intellect, and body delusions, and then we start for our egocentric life of pain and limitation. There is no other achievement more sacred and glorious which a human seeker can achieve within the duration of his existence as man than the realization of his real identity with the unlimited, eternal, absolute self.
So he's just telling you the whole thing that where we stand, that like Swamiji says, when we don't know Brahman, that's when the ego rises, right? We identify with our mind, body, and intellect. It's like the same example like rope and snake. I don't see the rope, that's why I see the snake. Then I imagine a snake. The same way he's saying that this egocentric pains and limitations that we feel, it's because we don't know the truth. We are still ignorant about it. So there is no other job more important in this world than to know this truth. That's what he says. बाकी सब साइडी बिजनेस है. तुम्हारा करियर, तुम्हारी फैमिली, तुम्हारा वो सब. Nobody saying that they are not important, but nothing can be more important than this.
One identified with the self-duration, his lifetime, here gains the eternal pedagogy of deathless perfection.
पदवी हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, पदवी मतलब वो तो उसको वो पद मिल जाएगा.
पदवी,
हाँ, that's my name. हाँ.
Having realized his real nature, there cannot be so much an individual any more of the pains of birth and death. After having woken up from the dream, one need not to run to the sideboard to snatch his rifle to shoot down the tiger that hunted him down in his dream. After a dream ride, when the dreamer wakes up, he need not run out to take his dream horse to water. Having woken up from the dream of the egocentric agonies into the waking state of the knowledge of the self, the God-man will not and need not more repeat that to and so swimming between the
arcs of birth and death. The last sentence is that, I'll just read that last sentence. Having woken up from the dream of the egocentric agonies into the waking state of the knowledge of the self, the God-man will not and need no more repeat the to and fro swinging between the arcs of birth and death. तो वो छूट जाता है इसके लिए, because, and he gave a beautiful example. He said, after you wake up from your dream and the dream mein wo tiger was chasing you and now the dream is gone, I awoke now. So we don't go or look for the rifle to go hunt down that tiger. उसको ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, he's saying. उसको जो उसका purpose था वही मिल गया उसको. तो फिर he's not going to waste his time in taking. He might come back as an avatar or as like to do something good in the life, to help other people. अपनी मर्जी से आएगा फिर वो. just हम लोग की तरह, pushed into this birth and death of cycle because of ignorance. That will not happen, basically, he's saying.
If an individual fails to realize the eternal nature of his self during his lifetime, he, after departing from his present manifestation, will have to take up yet another form and come back to this wretched plan of limitation and finiteness. This is true because the ego sense can ultimately end, and we have found only at the final shifting of our present identification with our body, mind, and intellect to a real misunderstanding, born to first-hand experience of the true nature of our eternal selfhood, which is the source of all life in us. As long as an individual has not come to have these subjective realizations of the self, so long his ego sense persists so much so that I-ness and minus in him rob of their present physical body. They remain intact together as an idea ego, and in time it associates itself with another form, the body, maintaining and developing its egoness with the chosen form.
So he's just repeating here what happens, after somebody dies, and if they do not have that final, he's not established in that final knowledge that, of Brahman, and so he will come for, इन्होंने बोला, it's not very kind of comforting to us, coming in this wretched plane of limitations and finiteness, because बोलते हैं ना ये दुखालय है. And there is कबीर का भी कुछ दोहे वगैरह में बोला है कि ये संसार में दुख ही दुख है. बुद्धिस्ट तो मानते हैं, that it's all house of pain and finitude and all that. So this is what we have to keep repeating ourselves. And if we don't pass the exam, go back to the same class, until you pass. That's what it is. So he's also talking about that this ego sense is so strong that even when he drops the body, that ego remains, I-ness and my-ness and all remains, and then take another body to continue with his I-ness and my-ness. So that's what he's talking about.
Shruti here kindly wants all sincere seekers to strive hard in realizing this final mission of life, which takes the individual from the material level to the highest of eternal perfection. This supreme goal is the final fulfillment of the struggle of evolution. Man alone is the sacred creature who has been endowed with the necessary equipment of a sensitive mind, high reasoning capacity, with a judicious and trained application of which he can deliberately hasten his own evolution. In nature, no other creature has this divine freedom to spread up its own evolution.
Yeah, it says in nature, no other creature has this divine freedom to speed up its own evolution. So that's why it's saying urgency and, importance of the human life. The people who get, oh God, I'm so full of problems and this and that. And they are saying exactly opposite. Saying, what are you talking about? You have the best life. That's what they are saying. All the Mahatmas. We may be looking at our other problems in our life, worldly problems, but they are telling of the spiritual capability a human has. That's what they are doing over here. And that this final fulfillment of the struggle. So that's another thing. Itni sari yoniya, itna sara sab kuch. लेकिन उसका final fulfillment is what we can achieve. That's what he's reminding us, which is like so powerful in some ways, right? And then the other important thing that why human beings are capable, because they have been given the necessary equipments, sensitive mind, high reasoning capacity, and with a judicious and trained application. Means ये नहीं कि means थोड़ा बुद्धि का प्रयोग करो for the right thing. That's what he's telling you. You've been given that buddhi. Don't keep it at the animal level. उसको थोड़ा उसका use करो. विवेक जागृत करो, he's telling you. Yeah. Real big wake up call. With this and with the promise of Lord Krishna, I think that if we continue, we are okay, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys feel.
We have to make up our mind.
Yeah.
Right.
So, last Sunday was like a parents thing in our, parents came to our class in Chinmaya Mission, right? So they are a 15-year-old, and in 11th grade or 10th grade, they have so many other activities, right? So sometimes they will miss. So, how to kind of encourage. So I was just trying to say to them that if they continue studying Bhagavad Gita, everything else will become better for them in life. That's why you should not miss it. Because they might, uska ye game hai, uska wo game hai, uska ye padhai hai, wo padhai hai. They give so much importance to that, but you don't realize that whatever he does in his life will get better. So if you don't have the good foundation, right? So that's what here also it is the same thing, बाकी तो सब चलता ही रहेगा. कभी खत्म नहीं होगा.
We are all here because we did not do very well in our last life.
Or maybe you can take it reverse, Shireen, that we have come to America, which is a land of plenty. किसी ने बोला कि they have this analogy कि ना वो स्वर्ग में दूध की नदियां बहती है, right? ऐसे बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में, दूध की नदियां बह रही है वहां पे. तो इससे तब दूध की नदियां बहना मतलब क्या? इट इज अ वे ऑफ सेइंग जितना दूध चाहिए उतना मिल जाएगा तुमको. Right? You go to the grocery and एक में नहीं मिलेगा, दूसरे में चले जाओ. इसको बोलते हैं दूध की नदियां बहना. Okay? So you have been given everything. And material चीजों की तो कोई यहाँ पे कमी नहीं है. Right? So then, Shireen, you have to say it ulta. That you have been born in a rich and a pure family. Atma ji is like was a Sufi, right? Your partner in life is already connected to the higher.
But if we had done very well in a previous life, we wouldn't have been born,
Oh, I know, but then it's like whether glass is half full or half empty. That's what it is.
Well, it is half full now.
Yeah.
More than half full.
See now you're talking more than half. And especially the way your mind is, you should be so happy that you are always happy. So then and if you have that kind of mind, you enjoy the world also, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's what it is. Yeah.
यहाँ पर चाहे हम जितनी मर्जी पूजा कर सकते हैं, जितनी मर्जी meditation कर सकते हैं, as compared to India.
That's what our teacher used to say.
So many responsibility and atmosphere. We are sitting in a nice place. No heat, no सर्दी, no.
Right. San Diego is like, बोलते हैं ना स्वर्ग का जो मौसम होता है ना, 3-4 दिन गर्मी क्या हुई, हम लोग ने इतना कंप्लेन किया.
I think heaven and hell is here only.
Heaven and hell is in our mind, true. That's exactly what Chinmayanand used to say. When you are happy, you are in heaven. When you are unhappy, you are hell. That's all.
I'm wondering how better the heaven would be. I'm just wondering because I'm nearing.
all of us are, like Tejamanandi already said, next breath you're going to get it or not, we don't know. So it applies to everybody. But I think that one of the big difference in heaven would be that you don't have the bodily afflictions. Because you don't have this kind of physical body.
You feel so light and wonderful.
Yes.
It would be such a good experience, huh?
That's where the danger is.
No,
look, Shireen is already getting tempted.
I used to dream a lot and I used to fly in my dreams.
So because you become...
With wings and all, it was such a good dream, you
That's
know.
why you became angel, because the angels are heaven लोग बोलते हैं ना, western लोग बोलते हैं angels. It's because you become light. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. See, but it's very tempting. That's what they are saying, that Krishna Bhagavan said that the person who really wants that final goal goes beyond the Shabda Brahma. That's because Shabda Brahma is very tempting. You know?
It's very
tempting, to experience the Swarga. But he's saying, hey, why you want that, Swarga? There is something even beyond, which is even higher, bigger, unlimited, Because you go to Swarga, there'll be again the other mental afflictions are there. Physical is not there, remember. Mental is like competition and, jealousy, all those things are still there in the Swarga.
Yes, I went once in my dream,
Yeah.
and I found people. There was overcrowding in one section, and there were some other people not that happy. Then I said, why are these people? There's so many people here. I'm all alone. I was happy on my own, but I said, what's going